Hi everyone, and welcome to our presentation on values, concerns, and possible biases. So you will need to understand and remember the information in this presentation for competency number 1. So make sure to take Cornell notes to make sure that you have this information for future lessons. By the end of this unit, you should be able to identify an audience's concerns, values, and possible biases as evidenced by annotating a text about a specified audience and listing the specified audience's concerns, values, and possible biases. So what's a value? A value is the quality, characteristic, concept, or idea that you consider important. Some examples might be ethics, respect, honesty, and integrity. Make sure you also write down in your notes these examples of values. Here are some more examples of values. Freedom, trust, justice, love, rule of law, peace, prosperity, dignity, and equality. We also see more in this tree of core values such as respect, openness, trust, teamwork. I would suggest that you write down as many of these examples as possible in your Cornell notes. The more examples you have, the better. Please also note that you may pause this video, you may rewind, fast forward at any time. So now that we've learned what a value is, now we're going to learn about concerns. A concern is a possible event or current issue that is a matter of interest or worry to you. So anything, any event, any issue that is worrying to you would be considered a concern. So for example, as your teacher, if I were to ask you, why aren't you doing your homework? Your grade is very low, then that means I am concerned about your poor or your lack of academic progress in my class. So that's the problem, that's the issue that is worrying to me. Here are some more examples of concerns. In these images, we see a war. On the far left, we see a stock market crashing, so a poor economy would also be a concern. And on the upper right-hand image, we see global warming. That's an environmental concern. So connecting this back to values, if someone is concerned about war, then that person might value peace. If a person is concerned about the stock market crashing, which would be the problem or issue that causes worry, then a possible value might be prosperity. And if someone is concerned about global warming, what might be a value? That person would likely value the environment. That would be a possible value. So the last concept we are going to learn in this lesson is bias. A person's concerns and values would influence the person's bias. A bias is when you develop a strong opinion, especially in favor of or against something or a person or a group. If you have a very strong opinion, whether you are for or against something, then you have a bias. So in these three images, we see examples of possible biases. In that image on the left-hand side, the man is telling the job applicant, sorry, you are simply not the right man for the job. But the person is a woman. So this man clearly has a bias against hiring women. He believes that men should be hired based on his comments. In that image in the middle, we see a green fish being precluded from joining the goldfish. So this person has a bias in favor of goldfish and against green fish. And lastly, on that image on the right hand side, we see people with very strong opinions, very strong political opinions. So somebody with a Republican bias and also a person with a Democratic bias.